Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report, again talking volleyball with new UNCP head volleyball coach Angie Bird. Coach, we mentioned a couple times already that the team is very shorthanded. You've only got 8 players in the rotation right now. What are some of the challenges to having such a small squad?
The biggest challenge is when one of them makes a mistake, they tend to wear it on their shoulders for too long, and there's nobody else that you can put in to give them that breather to get their confidence back up. We're only allowed 2 timeouts, and 2 minutes is not going to get it done for some of them. Some of them are not as mentally tough as they should be. You know, when you're playing in a fast-paced game, you're transitioning from high school to college, it's so much faster, you really don't get a chance to catch your breath and think. So you pretty much just make that mistake, and it's just like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And you just pretty much have to deal with it, and sometimes you have to adjust the serve-receive, but just not having enough people to sub people out, that would be the biggest challenge that we have.
It's funny when the national anthem plays at the home games and I look on our side of the court, there's 8 girls, and you look on the other side and they've got 12 or 13.
Right.
And it just makes you realize how short the team is right now. Well, with such a small squad, how important has the senior leadership of your 2 seniors, Shea Peterson and Ashlyn Reebok, been so far? I mean, are they stabilizing, or doing their best at least to stabilize the team a little bit?
Yes, they're actually doing a really great job. Both of those are captains. Shea actually has been doing really well. We've had to change a lot of things about her in terms of her timing and her swinging, all of her mechanics, and she's adjusted really well with that. As a matter of fact, when she's actually on top of her game, she's unstoppable.
And she's the tree on the team right now, isn't
right,
she?
She's the biggest.
5'8".
She's the tallest one that we have. Ashlyn is doing a great job. She's pretty much, you know, kind of like the quarterback of the team, and she takes control when everybody get in a bind. You know, she can walk up to them and be like, you know, hey, don't worry about it, just get the next pass. And she runs the team the best that she can, and she's doing a great job with that as well, with her leadership.
Okay, Coach. Well, as you're learning, the Peach Belt's a pretty tough conference when it comes to volleyball, and the next 2 matches you have are both on the road against Peach Belt opponents. September 27th, you're in Aiken to take on USC Aiken, and then September 29th, the next day, you're playing the Lady Bearcats at Lander. Talk a little bit about both of those teams, and what do the Lady Braves need in both cases really to have a chance to win those?
Our biggest thing that we're going to need against both of them is defense. Defense, defense, defense is really what's hounding us right now. Offense is coming along. You know, we watch film, we pick apart their spots, we know where to place the ball, but we have to get our defense in line in order to hit the ball. Lander is actually, I want to say, about 3-7, and some of the teams that they've lost to, we've already defeated. So if we can just stay defensively sound, we definitely can win that game. UNC Aiken, they're a little more tougher. They have some height, and you know, we've went over their stats today, so we know who their go-to players are. So this week we're going to practice on shutting down their go-to players. Okay.
Now, Coach, I want to ask you kind of a dumb layman's question, but I suspect there's quite a few people who want to know the same thing. What exactly is the libero? We see the team, and there's always one girl who's in a different colored jersey. What function does the libero serve? And I got a couple of follow-ups as well.
Okay, they are a defensive player only. They specialize in defense only. They can only play in the back row. They have some exceptions. They can jump and hit the ball, but before they attack the ball, it has to be, they cannot attack the ball no higher than the top of the net. They can set a ball with their hands as long as they're behind the 10-foot line. If they're in front of the 10-foot line, they have to forearm pass the ball. If they hand set the ball in front of the 10-foot line, the hitter has to stay on the ground and hit it. If they jump, it's an automatic back row attack.
Well, this is a question I've always sort of asked myself as well. I mean, the libero serves a very specialized function, as you say, but why not just have one of the regular players serve in that sort of primary defensive function? What's the difference between the libero and a regular player as far as setting and being a defensive player is concerned?
Libero can go in for anyone. They can go in for any person that's on the court, where if you have a person that only can go in, they only can go in for that same person every time, and they have to wait their rotations, where a libero, they can go in, and if they want to change for someone else, we just have to wait 1 dead ball, and then we can put them back in for anybody else.
Okay. Well, I know we talked a little bit off camera about recruiting, and you just smiled because you're really excited about the recruiting season so far. First, when is the primary recruiting season for volleyball?
Fall.
So while you're playing, you're actually doing recruiting at the same time. So
spring, you do have a little bit, and that's when you get into your club season, where you get to go to different tournaments and watch, but also we have a spring season as well, so it's a little bit harder to get out to the club tournaments, but the fall is the primary time where you can recruit everybody.
So you're going to games and coaching games, and during your off days you're out recruiting when you're not practicing as well. It helps to have some assistant coaches, I suspect, then. So when you're on the road, do you try to visit a few places while you're there, or do you have time to do that?
It's kind of hard at the time. Most of the time, you know, you talk a lot via email and phone, and you get videos. That's the primary place to start, and then you have them in for a visit. We've actually been pretty fortunate. We already have 3 commitments already for our 2013 class, and we're very excited. We're going to have a lot of height next year.
Good.
It's going to be very different.
And when is the letter of intent signing for volleyball? I know you can't talk about
First
players
period
right
is in November.
Okay, and what else are you looking for on the team? I know you've got a lot of holes to fill with such a small squad. I suspect your recruiting isn't finished yet then, is it? What else you got going on?
We're looking for every position. Like I said, we pretty much got a couple of commitments right now. Our setting position is wrapped up, our defensive position is wrapped up, so pretty much right now we're looking for all dominant hitters to come in, and will be really fun to watch next year.
Okay, Coach, real quick, we got about 30 seconds. I know that's going to be hard to answer in 30 seconds, but what's your long-range vision for this team?
Our long-range vision for the team is to pretty much put UNCP on the national level and to knock off Armstrong and Flagler, and we'll be in the #1 spot.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck. We appreciate you coming on the show. We hope
you.
to see you again soon, and good luck to the Lady Braves this coming week against the 2 Peach Belt opponents.
Thank you.
That's all the time that we have for this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report. Until next week, go Braves.